Hi, my name is Marty Plecky. Today I'm going to work on this picnic bench. It's 48 years old and I have kind of an emotional attachment to it, but it has seen better days, and I'll show you what the really worst part of it is. These were not treated lumber planks, and the end of this one you can see has rotted out on the inside. And what I'm going to do is put some plastic on here, like a plastic bag from a grocery store, on the top and the bottom. Then I'm going to put a piece of cardboard down, then back it up with wood on both sides. Then I'm going to pour some Gorilla Glue in this cavity, and the Gorilla Glue should expand to fill the cavity and make this plank more sturdy again. And then I'll paint the whole thing, and it can be used until until I pass away. I could buy a new plank and replace this, but then it wouldn't look the same as the rest of it. Anyhow, that's the plan, and we'll see how it all shakes out. I put the plastic underneath this board first. Then I put this cardboard up and had a helper keep it in place while I put these boards down up under, and then clamp those boards with a couple of clamps here. Put the glue in on top of this board where all the rot had occurred. Then I've got the plastic over the glue, backed up by this cardboard right here, and these boards, which are also clamped. So now I'm just going to let that Gorilla Glue expand to fill the gap. I'll probably have to add some more from the end of the board to fill up the rest of it, but it may take even more than 2 applications of glue to make this thing more solid. This is the result of the first 2 applications of Gorilla Glue to this rotted out piece of 2x12. So it's looking pretty good. It should take paint real well. I just have to fill this part up next. What I do is I put the glue in there, and then I fold this little piece of plastic over and clamp it in place so that it keeps the Gorilla Glue in place so that it doesn't just bubble up all over the place. Here's the plastic in place. Now I'll put the cardboard over this and then clamp it with a board over the top of the cardboard. It'll keep everything where it belongs. This is how I cut the bags from the grocery store to act as a barrier between the glue and the cardboard I use to hold it down so that it doesn't stick to the cardboard. It works pretty well. This outside layer that has the printing on it is sticky to that glue, but the inside layer doesn't stick to the glue. So it works pretty good to get the glue compressed so that it doesn't bubble up so much, and then I have too much to sand off. This bench for the picnic table was checked a lot. So there was a lot of cracks to fill with glue. And this is how I've been doing it. I just hold the bottle upside down and squeeze just a little bit while the glue kind of comes out and fills the cracks. If you hold the bottle upright, it doesn't leak glue, or you can just do this and go to the next spot that needs to be filled. Now, if it's a really big hole, you can put more glue in there, and then when the glue expands to fit that hole, it'll still be pretty hard. Whereas if you don't put enough, it'll expand and it'll get spongy as it solidifies. I'm putting the finishing touches on this picnic bench. It's not perfect, but it's a picnic bench, and I think it turned out really well for that. That board right over there is a bench for the picnic table. And there were 4 of these cross braces that acted as legs. You know, this screws underneath the bottom side of the board, and these go on the ground. I was pretty young when I put this thing together. It's way over engineered because I was pretty green at the time anyway. The bottom of the legs had rotted out a lot, but just on the bottom. So what I did was I cut off about 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches or an inch, you know, whatever I needed to cut off, and I glued these pieces of treated lumber. This part is not treated, this part is treated, and once it's painted, this thing will last for longer than I'm alive. Oh, hellfire. Anyway, most of this wood is good, except for where it wasn't, and this will take care of that problem. I glued these on with Gorilla Glue, and I have a biscuit joiner, which makes a kind of a half moon slot in the bottom, you know, somewhere in the middle. And it's a piece of wood that fits into that half moon on this side and on this side, and it increases the strength of this butt joint remarkably. So it should last, again, for a long time. This is a biscuit maker. I think they call it a joiner. You set the depth with this, well, the angle here and the depth right here. So I've got this set to make a nice cut in a 2x4. And you see the blade comes out like that to make the cut. So there's the biscuit in the slot that cut blade makes. I've got the glue on it already. There's the other slot in the other part of the leg of this table. And I'm just going to stick this in there. I put some Gorilla Glue on it already. And then this is how I clamp it. It's a very odd configuration to clamp. So what I do is I tie a piece of rope down here and then stretch it as hard as I can around here. Then on the other side, then up this way, and then clamp that end of the rope. So this is really tight, and it'll keep this foot down on the leg. And I have this clamp in place to keep the leg or the foot end from sliding backwards. This is the end that was rotted out so bad, and it looks pretty dang good. The glue did a great job So you can see that the checks are all filled in. I didn't show the painting job because most folks know how to paint. This is glue here, and this is without glue. But all in all, I think it turned out really well. All the checks are filled in, and the reason I did that is because if you don't fill them in, like all this is all glue. If you don't fill them in, it's highly likely that the paint would not get deep enough to keep water from soaking into the wood through the checks and then rotting the wood some more. So I filled those in, and when I painted over it, there is nothing for water to get into the wood and start the rotting process all over. Reconditioning this picnic bench is finished. All the tools are cleaned up, the brushes washed out, and everything is put away. I think it turned out okay, all in all. But we'll have to see how it weathers through the winter. If you got something from this video, and I hope you did, click the thumbs up like button, the bell icon if you can find it, and it would really be great if you subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.